Am I moving?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, with regards to am I the asshole? All right, so I'm going to start the story. I'm going to tell you. So, I was brainwashed at an early age that loyalty and hard work would add countless zeros to your paycheck. I remained optimistic that receiving year after year of 3% raises and working holidays. I missed my children's first steps, their school functions, and other life events so I could make the CEO more money. After the passing of my stepfather and my boss calling me during the funeral, asking me to troubleshoot an issue while my mom cried into my shoulder, enough was enough. I changed companies, made the personal pledge to put family first and my career a distant third or fourth. Fair. Okay. Fast forward to present day, I find myself as the cornerstone of our department. Many of our clients' processes are automated through custom API developed by me. I have maintained a thorough documentation library on how to support the API, the reports, and all of its dependencies. I have offered to train backup so we are not single-threaded. My manager told me, no way, we would never do anything to lose you. Up to now, life was good. Okay. At the beginning of December, ABC Company, which is the customer, was audited by the government and found out to be out of compliance. They hired my company to regain their compliance by the end of the year or risk fines nearing $750,000. ABC Company dragged their feet, getting us the information we needed to start on the work. Definitely an issue. I save my vacation days so I can take the week between Christmas and New Year's Eve off. I spend it with my kids to make up for all the time I lost when I worked when they were younger. This time is very precious to me. So far, what do you think, Tim? It's fairly reasonable, fairly calm.
Yeah, it sounds like a guy went up. Like he found a situation that wasn't really benefiting him enough in a company. I sound sophisticated in real life now. I'm like getting all, hey, now that you can see me, let me get in close and talk seriously. But no, it just sounds like he did the best thing so far. Okay. And he's doing what he can.
Absolutely. So last week and this week, I have been notifying the project manager and my manager about my time off. I let them know I would need ABC Company's information soon so I can start on it. I offered to work extra hours to ensure my piece would be finished prior to Christmas Eve. On Tuesday, my manager calls me and tells me ABC Company finally sent the data over. I requested it over 2 weeks ago. He looked beaten because he knew what was about to happen. I told him who should I walk through the project with because I'm off after Christmas. My manager said, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to work. I declined your time next week. I asked what happens to my vacation. My boss says, I'm sorry, you know the rules, use it or lose it. I fought for you, but HR wouldn't budge. So in response, I drafted my resignation letter after the call, set it to delay delivery on Monday at 8 a.m. and closed up shop. ABC Company will pay $750,000 because nobody knows how to program that system since there's no backup. Our other clients will be expecting their monthly, quarterly, and annual reports within the first week of January. No one knows how to do this. We had 6 projects in progress involving extensive API and reporting. Now those projects are dead in the water. 7 clients prepaid for API and automation upgrades in 2022 Q1. I don't know what will happen to those. Please remember family first and you never get that time back. So,
why you put me in this situation, Dino? Why you gotta put me? Because there's more.
Oh, there is more, sir. There is more. Okay, this is where the plot thickens. So, this is the screenshots of the text conversation between the manager and the employee. It says, "Hope you have a great Christmas. Please call me as soon as you can. I received your email. I understand that you are upset, but resigning is not the best choice in this circumstance. Blank have been your friend for 5 years. I'm asking you as a friend, not a manager, to reconsider and call me. Let's talk about this. Hey, you made your point. You can have today off if you call me and let me know when we can expect you tomorrow, but you need to call me. This is ridiculous. Do you know what your actions are going to do to the company, to me? You made your point. Just call me and we will figure out your vacation, but we need..." We went over the
to summarize, is this guy basically he's wanting him to come in, and the guy's like, "Nah, I'm not going to come in.
I quit." So this is where it gets interesting. He goes, "You got us help here. you got to help us here. Call me, dude. Log back in and help us fix this stuff. Name your price. The states can't see their reports. Blank is going to fine us. Wants to know if the reports will be completed by January 6th. Family is important, but we are talking about people's jobs on the line. He goes, hey, I'll be happy to return to work for $80 an hour, $5,000 immediate sign-on bonus, and 6 weeks personal time off with a 12-month guarantee. Send that to me in writing, and I'll start immediately.
You don't have to read anymore. I already made up my mind. And this is going to be controversial. Fuck the worker. This motherfucker, I'm sorry, but your best friend put you in the thing, and this is not even his fault. This is the company before him, and you're going to fucking ruin him, his business, and the other business because you want your 2 weeks off. You already signed your resignation. So why do you also then have to corrupt the company further to cause them $750,000? Like that, just because your expertise, if that's the case, then the company will call and need you. It sounds like you're just really fucking your friend because everyone could, there's a lot of people that can replace you, and you're just mad that they fucked you on Christmas. And welcome, it's a company. Why didn't you use your 2 weeks of vacation in the summer like everyone fucking else? Like, I just don't get it. So, like, no, I don't think I'm not going to buy the sympathy of this guy who's now making demands to a company that he put in the situation to begin with. Like, so I hate to be that guy.
Hold on, but think about it. He actually, in turn, was the one who talked to the employer and said, hey, listen, I'm happy to train people. He has documented everything. And in actuality, so our guest is here too, so I want to wrap this up as quick as possible. But the workplace continues to call this guy's dad, who's the emergency contact. He's like, please stop calling my dad. He has nothing to do with this. You can call me all you want, but don't call my emergency contacts. I resigned. I did not die.
Well, then we'll sugarcoat it. Maybe not the worker. The guy who hired his friend is the asshole because he now looks like one. Don't hire your friends, man. Like, because he's probably thinking he's talking to dad because he's been over and ate peanut butter jellies with old Jim. He knows old Jim. I can't talk to old Jim now. Fucking Carl, you're going crazy on me now.
And this is the thing, Tim, is if it was just him trying to stick it to the man, I'd be like, listen, you're kind of a dick. But the employer or manager says, here are your priorities. Fix state dailies, complete the job, provide these reports, and train your backup. How much time will it take to fix? So the guy responds, and this is where you see how things are changing. He goes, what does this mean? He goes, to be 100% clear, I resigned today. I don't have priorities or projects. I am no longer an employee. That's the responsibility of the corporation, right? And this is what we've seen is that people will get fired and there's no new rehire, spots don't get filled, things like that happen, and essentially it just falls apart. And you're going, listen, it's not his job to plan for those kind of situations, right? And he's saying, sorry, hey, I don't have priorities there. I quit, right? Like, are you going to call an employee after 6 months and go, hey, why didn't you do this 6 months ago? Huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say 100%. Like, you got some points there, and it seems like he now that you're on slide 3, maybe I was a little hastily on my
I understand
asshole. But honestly, when you start fucking with people's jobs, it becomes personal. Like that, like, and I was making metal, and we would have thought you were fucking. We were curing cancer, so like a big thing. We were in lab coats because we were in beakers. No, we were in lab coats, so we didn't get burns from the welding marks on our legs. Like, but we still took. So it's kind of cool, I guess I should say, that two people take pride so much that they're going to fight. Like, these are two people that not only take pride in their jobs, but who they are and what they can afford. So what we're seeing is a dick measuring contest in DMs right now.
Oh, definitely. To the point where this guy is like, listen, he goes, you've already cost us $19,000 an hour in every delay that happens. So come back. And the guy's like, listen, man, I don't care. I told you what my breaking point was. You completely disregarded it. So
he should have left it. He's fishing in a fucking dry hole, man. Like, and it's just going to irritate people.
Oh, and then, like, of course, then they're like, you know what? Fine, we'll give you $10,000 to do it right now. He's like, that's a generous offer, but I'm firm on my offers. But I'm telling you, you don't need me. The answer is in the. So the thing is, the way to solve this is still there. They just never bothered to have anyone to look at it.
Well, also, when you start talking to people like prostitutes, it just shows, like, hey, why aren't you a real businessman? This is how I get ladies on the street. I throw money at you, and you do what I say. Like, argh.
Well, and that's that. It goes on and on. I encourage everyone. Essentially, they explained exactly, and he just goes. He goes, listen. He goes, sorry. He goes, I have all my backups there. They chose not to hire anybody. Chose not to back up everything. Not to have anyone as my understudy per se for the job because it's so important. He goes, and then you're gonna turn around and tell me, oh no, you can't. You can't have that time off. And look, it's not just about hey, you can't have your time off, but because you can't have that time off that we've already agreed to in response, you lose that time off and you get nothing, which you're like, hey,
I
fuck
think
you.
I've got it through the first ever to be continued. Am I an asshole? Till
I think
after our
that's fair.
guest, we may talk it a little bit further because I think this needs a deeper dive. Let's finish it because right now, I have to recap because we had a great interview. I said the worker who left basically he didn't get vacation time, and he's like, "No, fuck this. You're not going to make me lose my vacation time during Christmas and all this. I'm quitting," and put in his resignation. And basically I called him the asshole.
Right.
Then things changed because the company didn't take no for an answer, like a creepy edge lord in your girlfriend's Facebook Messenger that just keeps waving at you over and over again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they
so
went so far as to call his emergency contact, which is his dad, when it's like, listen, man, there's been no emergency. Why are you calling? Like this is the thing is that when the company also was trying to say is like, well, you have a responsibility. No, I have a responsibility to my family. And this is something that I've found has specifically been changing over the last few years where people, you know what, there's a lot of people who are making a lot of money and are stupid. And
yeah,
that's not knocking stupid people. What I'm saying is they always thought, and a lot of people think this, is that money brings you happiness, which is, listen, does it make life easier? Yes. Does it bring you happiness? Absolutely not.
I
Like,
blame TikTok. You see these TikTokers and
well,
they're so happy. You know they're not. They're crying. They're crying. Like I got all these millions and this house is empty, full
yeah,
of
well, that's the
paid
thing is,
friends.
and it's that same idea. And I'm like, I grew up with this statement, and I know it's a little bit, maybe a little bit sexist, but it's like that, you know, you can buy a house, but your wife will make it a home, right? Now, granted, obviously there are other relationships that are valid, and obviously it's that idea that there is going to be a nurturer in a household that makes it a home, right? And when you focus on something like that, it's important. But when your employer doesn't give a shit about your family or your necessity to put your family first, then it's no longer, that's a toxic relationship. And that's why I really applaud like the amount of people who are like, you know what, I want better pay. And they're like, no. Okay, then I'm gonna go get a better job. And that's a completely valid,
Valid.
rational move. Right. So him saying, no, 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 I've let you guys know in advance. Like he asked, said, listen, guys, I need this stuff as soon as possible. And I'm willing to stay late to make sure it's done. But they're going, hey, we couldn't get in time. Well, if you can't get in time, then they deserve to be penalized. It's not
And
on him, right?
I was still thinking the worker was an asshole too, because I was like, yeah, the dude. Because sidebar, the
Mm-hmm.
dude who hired him was a friend, so I thought calls to his father. Maybe he knew the father, PBs and J's with gyms, but then
Yeah.
the dude started throwing $10,000 at him like a high class prostitute in New York, and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, we've reached.
That's why I
Maybe I
think
have to.
I think they were work friends. Like, it's like, yes, we call ourselves friends, but you've never been to my house. You never spent like
Right.
I feel like it started where we thought that, and I thought the same, but then you're going, oh wait, no, it's not. This guy's he's just we've been buddy buddy at work for so long, we're cool friends.
Well, I think I've seen enough Nicolas Cage movies set in Las Vegas that the beginning time is always nice, but once you
Yeah.
throw the money in her face and spit on her, it tends to turn bad. And that's what it seemed like happened. It turned when he realized the friend's tactic wasn't going to work. He couldn't get. He
Yeah.
went with a different tactic, and it looks like he's trying to do
Yeah.
like Alec Baldwin's fucking or art of the deal on this motherfucker, and he's not having it, rightfully so. Which sucks though. I'm surprised. He seems like the company seems so petty. They didn't go, well, fine, you're not going to get your vacation anyways. like
Yeah.
like that matters.
Well, and that's why you're going, okay, like it's this weird thing where we're realizing who actually has the power in a situation. And this guy did everything right. He was like, no, no, no. I left instructions there. He goes, I've told you that I need a backup. You've chosen not to have a backup. Now you chose to not act like I act in good faith. Now you've betrayed that faith. Hey, sorry, no thanks. And that's why I'm going, listen, it's that idea that, well, you're not going to get a good review. I don't care, man. I'm good at my job. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm tired of our world being predicted by shitty TV writers.
Watch Idiot Says What live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.